If she has a negative feeling about the hand and I just touch her and I don't show her another way, it's okay, honey, it's okay. Shh, shh, shh. So you stay super calm. And then I just wait, it's okay. Shh, shh, shh. And that's it. All right, so now you see, Bill, her shoulders are slightly to the outside and her jaw is slightly in. Do you see that? Yeah, good. Jill, can you see that? Okay, so if I come straight at you, you can see that her shoulder's over here and her head is slightly here. Good. And there's no weight in my reins. Okay, very good. So that's the key to getting started, is just being able to feel that in the walk so that we can get to that place where the jaw is turning loose. The bend at this stage in the game is to make sure we're opening up the hindquarters. Remember I said earlier, Bill, that the collection or engagement is of the hind end. Awesome. So that's that, right? Easy. Shh, shh, shh. That's pretty tight. Okay, so we're not going to get vertical flexion because you see how she tried to tuck her chin on that? So she didn't let go a little bit, not even a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're just going to give this a try. So all I'm saying is, honey, hey, 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 hey. But look how tight she is. Good. Okay, and now hand on. Not backwards. I'm going to take her out. It's pretty awkward just with the setup of the hackamore. This is honestly where a snaffle, there we go. Now I'm going to do it on this side. So I'm taking my left rein shorter because that allows me to go back here. And then I want to, that's it. Good. So I'm just showing her when I touch her, she can, first of all, I'm no threat. So nothing in me is saying you're in any trouble at all. Back to this. There we go. Good. So that she gets relief. Now body again, taking her back into balance. And now my hand on her butt. And now waiting for a feel. That's it. It's not about just touching her lots. It's not. Because if she has a negative feeling about the hand and I just touch her and I don't show her another way, it's okay, honey. It's okay. Shh, shh, shh. So you stay super calm. And then I just wait. It's okay. Shh, shh, shh. And that's it. But you see, she's trying to move her feet. This is a perfect example. She's moving her feet. She hasn't let go of nothing. There we go. Good. You see, wasn't a lot, but then all of a sudden you felt something unclick in her mind. Good. So now to get onto this side, it's not naturally coming clear that. Good. That's a girl. Good girl. So this is a real important work for her because she stores a lot of her. She's kind of guarded about that, hey? There we go. So again, possibly her ever getting in trouble and somebody tagging her on the butt, and it happens in a certain way. Like, horses are funny, hey? They can go through a lot of pressures and nothing matters. Sometimes one thing can happen and then they feel like, now they're really guarded about it. And it could be that she never really was ever shown, that nobody ever talked to her about her hindquarters, about that pressure, you know. It could have been that, you know, somebody, there we go, had saddlebags on the back and they were flopping a certain way and it got in her head and nobody helped her sort through it. So a lot of things, horses are left to try to figure things out on their own. And anytime a horse is left to figure it out on their own, good chance they're going to go self-preserving with it because they don't have a lot else in the bank. So it's not obedience. It's just that they don't know what else to do. There we go. Okay, so that's a better feel now. See that? Now this is eyes. Good. Now feel of the muscle. Good. That's it. There we go. Yes. See now, I will not be judged. Okay, I will not be judged. What I mean is, I'm not going to allow her to make the judgment necessarily about what I meant. Because that's where you can get in a lot of trouble with horses, is if I let her decide what I meant, probably they're going to take me negative. Right, like I was meaning her like there was something going to go wrong there. That's it. Good kid. And now I can actually touch her on the hindquarters. See, if I would have touched her before, she was feeling violated. Like, get your hands off me. So then I won't actually start petting. All I did was keep my hand present, and now there we go. Okay. So I'm trying to show her a new way. Good. Now in motion. So I'm going to there we go. Okay, I touch, and then I'm looking for a feel. Good. Okay, I touch, and I'm looking for a feel. Aha. Good. See, I want her to understand there's nothing she has to hold back from me. You don't have to be guarded. I'm never going to hurt you. I always have your best in mind. And anytime you have some kind of misconception about what my pressure meant, I'm going to help you with it. So she's getting a little faster there. It's okay, honey. Shh. Now we'll just see if we have done enough work to get through this. Good. So she started to get defensive. And then it's like, you got to be, obviously you got to be somewhat careful because, she's kind of like pretty tight about that. Some horses can take that in a more guarded way. That's it. Good. That's it. That's just right. Pretty soon, there we go. I want her to start softening right away. So if I touch her here, I want her to start thinking about doing that all by herself. Pretty soon she'll say, oh, well, Josh never meant me any harm anyways. Because she knows there's a better way. There we go. See now? And this is what should be. Good. So see, guys, now she's getting to a place where she's almost not leaving the softness. And that's the goal. Okay, so let's get her in a soft spot. Now I put my hand back. There we go. There we go. Good. You see? Yeah, just right. Well done, kid. And that's the way you train this kind of stuff through. So really important balance between the two. There we go. Yes, look. I didn't do that. She did that. Yeah, honey. Yeah, good girl. Now I'm going to leave that alone for a minute. We're going to go play with the trot again, and we'll come back to that again. Chances are if I come back to that, she might be tight again. I'm going to hope for the best and think the best of her. But the reality is it's easy for a horse when they've had something that bothered them pretty good that you're going to be starting maybe at zero. I give a horse the expectation that they could start. This is the difference between a trainer and a student. As a training perspective, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do that maybe 100 times. And so I expect her to start at zero every one of those 100 times with no anxiety or upsetness, where the student will say, well, I just showed you that. Why are you sorry horse? And the reality is that they just don't, it just takes some time for them to reprogram those thoughts because it's self-preserving. It's scaring her. So it's not like she's just not okay with it. It's scaring her. She's almost to the place where she has to defend herself. All right. Okay, so now we're going to the trot. So I want to find that balance. My shoulders need to be in a correct posture. So I'm just gently taking the shoulders. So I think about my outside seat bone. I'm not tipping myself. I'm just aware of it. What that does is it stops me from falling in, and it also gives her something to come under on the outside line. From there, I then rotate the pole, and I want to see that I can have an inside flexion. The only problem will come is when her eye leaves, but that's getting a lot better. Once I feel this balance, then my seat rides forward. Because when I get that balance, Bill, you see when my seat rides forward, look at how she gets more organized. You see how she's stepping now to the trot? From her hindquarters, she's starting to organize that. You see the difference in that transition? It's not really racy. Now so a little bit of tension there. We're going to go back to just getting a little bit more lateral bend until I can find her sweet spot again. That's it. That's pretty good. She's slightly out her shoulder, and we'll work on that. But I want to just try to find a graceful place where she can take that without feeling too demanded of. So you see, as I start to ask for this canter, good. I'm going to do my best not to demand too much. So it got a little bit racy. But I just want her to relax and think through that, so I'm not going to get too expectant of it being perfect. So she's kind of leaning. There's lots of little pieces happening. But I want this. I want her just to start feeling like she's not Like, I want her to think it's easy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want her to feel like she's being demanded of too much. Again, 2 fingers touching my horn, because this isn't a really soft canter yet. So this allows me to really bring my seat in and not bounce around. I have no shame in this. If I can do something to make it easier for her, I'm going to do it. Good. Okay. Changing my energy. Good. Nice. And then back to the shoulders. Finding the sweet spot. Calmly. That's it. Good. And then walk. No reins, just energy. Wait for her. Let her figure it out. That allows her and I to get dialed in, because she's like, oh, okay, that meant that, and that's this. She don't know me. So I want to give her grace on this. The aids become super intimate with a horse that you ride often, because it's between you and her. She knows you. She knows when you do this, it means that. And so I always want to give horses grace as I'm kind of introducing myself, so to speak. All right. Okay. Pet, just to create touch and softness in a place she's good. And now hindquarters. Oh my goodness. Oh, I thought that was going to be better than that. It looked like she was going to make it. It's okay, honey. It's okay, honey. Good. Licking and chewing. There. Okay. That was pretty nice. That was a pretty neat process. I probably couldn't talk fast enough to talk you through it. But it looked like she was going to get it. And then she all of a sudden got like this. But now watch. She's actually sorting it out. She did it. There we go. There. Okay, again. Shh, it's okay. It's okay. And it's one of those things you have to be so calm about. Because, that's it. If she's worrying and then you get after her about that, she's done with you. Yeah, she's done with you because you're no longer an advocate. Good. Okay, so we're going to go back to this work now. I don't mind if she trots. She's okay to trot. There we go. And then again, it's okay if she trots as long as she's not, like if she needs to move her feet, it's okay. It just shouldn't be a panic. That's it. Good. See, that's better. She's accepting me a little more. Good. I'll give her that. That's it. Girl, honey. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And now what I'm going to do, this is like giving her a treat. We're both going to look out the door. Because she really wants to do that. She really would like to do that. So we have it in our minds. Part of directing a horse's mind means you got to make them go their thought everywhere you want. Well, you can sure turn into a bit of a jerk. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not allowed to look. We want to have a good relationship with you, but you can't look anywhere but where I say. So I just think that, you know what? It's a real good principle. It's important for us to get the work done. See, if I'm struggling mentally when we're trying to get a job done, it's going to be pretty tough, Bill. Because half the time I'm not going to hear your instructions, and it's going to get turned into a mess. So there's times when we got to be dialed in. Then there's other times where it don't matter. Just relax. And I was just going to say that. You see now how interested and how hard-eyed she is about it? Okay, so if I said this, oh my goodness, what is that? But don't look, Lonnie. That is the neatest thing, but don't look, Lonnie. Okay, it might not even be really big, but now there's a desire in Lonnie just to check it out. And if she's told she's not allowed, it intensifies the desire more. Okay, so there's a lot of times where it's like, just have a look, it's no big deal. And she looks, and then no longer is her desire behind herself. Okay, it's kind of a thing. It's really important. So in the balance of trying to get the horse's mind, I think there's kind of spectrum in this, where there's times when the horses need to understand that I'm speaking to their thought. So in the beginning, she was anticipating I was going to talk to her body, and her mind was on its own, and I wasn't talking to her about what she was thinking about. But by touching the reins specifically and releasing it specifically when her thoughts change, she now knows I'm speaking to her about what she's thinking. Does that make sense, Bill? But if I just turn her body, her mind never changed. She turned her body. She learns I'm about her body, not her mind. So then that's where horses spin their way home. Okay, but if I can set this up so that she knows that if I touch this rein, so let's see, thoughts. Okay, and I touch the rein, good. Thought, look at that. So you can see, how do you know a thought released? What is it? What are the observables? Okay, Marjorie, what did you just gestured like this? What does that mean? It's a feeling. So we've all seen it. Okay, this happens with some of the bridling. The horse bobs their head down and pops it up. We talked about the 3 layers of feel, and that's a thing in itself. But we talked about first the thought has to change. Then we have to feel the muscles soften, and then we feel the movement happen. Where a lot of times when people are asking a horse to do something, they're just looking right for the movement, and we're passing the internals, okay? Softness speaks so heavily to the internals. That's why this is so much more relational, because those internals matter. All right, so then when I pick the rein up, it's important that as I touch the rein, okay, good. Now there's a feel. So if I let her go, okay, look at how she's bringing that back to center. Feel how it's happening, okay? There is an internal release in that. That is the release of the thought.